This is not a test. Don't expect to be impressed. Put on your life vest. Sit down your armrest. It's time to stray from the grind. Don't take my hand, 'cause you'll find no peace of mind. Side quest.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Authors and Dragons present the Great Gibby Challenge. I am your host, Wank Spankerman, and I'm here to bring you this amazing time and contestants with amazing authors who are going to do a round of trivia. Let's start at the top. Emily, introduce yourself.
Hey, hi, hello. I'm Emily Kaplan. I write under E.M. Kaplan. I play various characters, and I am here because I know nothing.
Bully, perfect. Misty Massey, you're next.
Well, hey, I'm Misty Massey. I'm the author of the Mad Kestrel series of pirate fantasy adventures, and I'm really good at Jeopardy when I'm at home on my couch and nobody's looking.
Wonderful, wonderful. Mr. Weverell, or as you poor British people say it.
Hi, I'm Steve Weverell, and I also write books and am shit at trivia.
This sounds like a wonderful outing. Last but not least, Robert J. Bevan. How are you, sir?
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevan, and I play the role of Klaus Richter, the notorious rogue. I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories, and we're about to find out how good I am at trivia.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And I am Wank Spankerman, also known as M.K. Gibson, author of such books as Technomancer, Shadow Master. Fuck all that. Buy my books if you like them. Otherwise, I don't care. We're back to the trivia. Now, as I said at the top of the order, I am Wank Spankerman, your host. Yes, the Wank Spankerman, heir of the Spankerman family fortune. Yes, we monetize.
The Wank Spankerman?
The Wank Spankerman.
Oh
Yes,
God.
you've heard of us. We're from northeast, down, left, right, Umbershire. It's off a little island off the coast where, the rich English people live, obviously. We monetize masturbation. Every time you have a go at yourself, we get paid. It's all complicated with crypto, but it doesn't matter. Very rich, and you are not.
This is why I'm so poor.
Probably,
It makes sense now.
he's probably rolling in it.
Oh, goodness gracious. With a name like Wank, you know I am. Well, it's a nickname. It's not my given name. It's my mother called me Wank.
Oh, that's sweet.
Well, my legal name is Hard Meat, but that's neither Hard Meat Spankerman. But we're not here for me. We're here for you in this game show. So let's begin.
Yeah.
All right. These are the rules of Gibivia. There are 3 rounds. Rounds 1 and 2 have 4 categories. 3 questions each: easy, medium, and hard.
Wait, this is starting to look like math.
Yeah.
And there is a math component. Yes.
Oh, shit.
So I'm going to need each one of you to maintain your own scores, because I don't have a co-host today. My lovely assistant stepped out on me. We're currently hunting her down for sport because you do not leave a Spankerman. All right.
Oh,
Now,
my.
So long, Fanny Flickerman.
well, we just called her the Bean, if you don't mind. Now, for each round, rounds 1 and 2, but not 3, rounds 1 and 2, each one of you has a counterspell. Meaning, if someone answers a question right, and you don't want them to get their point, you counterspell it. That being said, a counterspell can counter a counterspell, and a counter can counter a counter. So do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
You've played Dungeons and Dragons. You've played Dungeons and Dragons. Think of it as an Uno reverse card. But everybody gets one.
Have I played Dungeons and Dragons? I've appeared on the Authors and Dragons podcast.
That's news to me. I was just brought in to actually bring a little bit of class to this shit show of a podcast of yours. All right.
Have you played Dungeons and Dragons? Think of it in terms of Uno.
Well, I got a lot of shaking heads. One from the ginger head lass from down south. She kept going, I don't understand this. This is baffling me. So
There's just too many numbers.
Oh, it gets
I'll
worse.
get it. Oh,
All
God.
Right. Now, if someone else who's good with numbers, Emily, since you are good with numbers, do me a favor. I'm going to need someone to know which category. Someone already asked for this question and this question and question. You will see as we go along. Now, the final round is a surprise. So we'll keep that in mind. All right. Now, who is the youngest among you?
Ain't me.
Oh, my God.
I think Steve?
Steve?
Is it me?
Yeah.
That doesn't feel right. I look half dead.
All right. So
People can see this on YouTube. No one's going to believe
they can. All right. So Steve is the youngest. Who is the next youngest?
All right,
Bob.
I'm 46, if that helps.
I think it's Bob. Yeah.
I'll be
All right.
47 in less than a week.
Okay, so
You have maneuvered us into a social faux pas here, Gibby.
oh no. The ladies wanted to give numbers. Who's next in line?
It'll be
Doesn't
me.
matter.
It's got to be Emily because I'm way older than any of
All
y'all.
right. So
They don't have to give numbers. We just know they're older than us.
So because there's a certain number of questions, everybody gets several turns. So Steve, Bob, Emily, Missy. That is the order. Remember this. Moving on
God.
to the first round of Gibivia.
Oh, for the listeners, I worked this out just before we start recording. Gibivia is a mixture of Gibby and trivia.
Who
If you
the fuck
didn't
is
work that
Gibby?
out.
I was sending Bob messages earlier today who goes, "Who the fuck is Michael? I don't know this individual."
This should be
it's-
called Wankivia.
Yeah,
All right.
Wankivia.
All right, so the categories are Ghostbusters, Christmas Around the World, Shakespeare, and Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh, I thought that was shitting.
Oh my god!
No, it is not shitting. Steve, you have control of the board. Pick a question.
You've picked topics I've deliberately been spiteful about for about 3 years now. Now you got to show. Yeah, you got to show up. The only thing I know about these things is spite.
All right.
And, I'm not sure if spite wins prizes in this game. We shall see.
All right. Pick a category and a level of question. 1, 2, or 3.
Go on and let's go for Ghostbusters, and I'll go for the easiest level.
100. Sounds good. For Steve only, for 100 points in the original Ghostbusters, what final form did Gozer take?
Gozer the Gozerian.
Bet you wish you had not been drinking. Mm-hmm. I'm a little
Well, now I'm trying
teapot
to think
short.
who was the woman with the flat top. She wasn't Gozer. Gozer the Gozerian, I guess, was Stay Puft.
All right.
Marshmallow Man.
Let's see if you're right. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is correct. Steve has 100 points. Emily, could you annotate that for me?
Yes.
And,
I answered a question that an 8-year-old could answer.
all right. So the Ghostbusters 1 is down.
How
Robert,
many drunk 8-year-olds do you know? Not many, I'd wager.
all of them. Have you ever met an 8-year-old? They're always drunk. Mr. Muffin, it is your turn.
All right. I'm curious. I'll take Christmas Around the World for 100.
Christmas Around the World for 100. For 100 points, what is Wassel?
Oh, I know this one.
Walrus semen.
Is that your final answer?
He's 100% correct.
Hot mulled cider, but very close. Emily, Mr. Bevan is minus 100 points.
Okay.
It's hot molded in cider.
Hot mulled cider. There's a comma there. All right. Next up in line, Miss Kaplan. You are next.
Let's try Christmas Around the World for 200.
Sounds like a plan. For 200 points, Santa Claus goes by what name in France?
Oh, I know this one too.
Papa Noel.
Père Noël. We will allow it. You have 200 points, ma'am.
Sweet.
Nice. Daddy Christmas.
Papa Christmas. Miss Misty Massey. That's a lot of M's.
Monsieur Claus.
It is a lot of them.
It is your turn.
I'm going to go with Shakespeare for 100.
Shakespeare for
Classic.
100. For 100 points, who died first, Romeo or Juliet?
Romeo.
Romeo. He thought she was already dead, and he offed himself like a wanker. Like
What a prick.
Miss Emily, you are annotating these points for me, are you not?
Yes, I am.
You are the best. Thank you so much. I don't care
Thank
what
you.
Bevan. Oh, by all means, please do. That is the benefit of
Obviously.
being. All right, back to Mr. Bevan. Oh, excuse me, no, Mr. Weverill. What would you like?
Go on, let's go for Star Trek Easy Mode.
Star Trek 100. For 100 points, which character's death led to Worf becoming chief of security?
Oh, the mum from Pet Sematary. What was her name? Shit.
I'll tell you so much. You are right so far. Can you note the character's name?
Normally I would, yeah. And I remembered a contract dispute about it. She thought she was going to move on to better things.
Oh, she always did. Yes, yes.
She did Pet Sematary, and that was about it.
I believe she showed her boobies as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you can always tell that an actress is going up in the world, but how much they get their tits out. She was... Christ, I should know this. This is definitely a midnight drinking.
I can only remember the mom from Cujo. I wonder if it's the same person.
I don't remember
It's
the man
not.
from Cujo. Was she in Star Trek?
No.
Are you giving up on the answer?
Yeah, I do know this one. I just can't currently recall it, so I'm afraid I'm gonna have to forego.
Or make something up.
Tasha Yar. Tasha Yar.
Tasha.
Her name was Tasha Yar. Minus 100 points for you.
Make something
don't
up.
That's what I did.
Now, don't forget, everybody's got a counter spell. Now,
Hey.
you're allowed to
So-
counter spell yourself, so you don't lose points.
Oh,
But you only get one. All
Is
right,
is it
Mr.
polite
Bevan.
to counterspell myself in public? I don't know.
Mr. Bevan, what's next?
All right, I'll try Ghostbusters for 200.
Ghostbusters for 200. Wait a minute, that was a mistake. I clicked the wrong button. There we go. For 200, what cultist decided that society was too sick to survive? What cultist from Ghostbusters legend said humanity was too sick to survive?
Oh, so I remember the line
I
and I
know
remember
this.
the reference.
Me too.
Just remembering that
who's
name.
Shit, it was the architect guy.
That is accurate. Come
Yes.
a little closer. You're almost there.
He thought he was too big to Ghostbusters, and he went on to be the mum in Pet Cemetery.
Then he showed his titties and his acting career was over.
Oh, I'm going to kick myself.
Oh, I can't remember this one either. This is annoying.
All right.
I get to act all smug because I wrote the questions. Bully.
Let's see. I'm going to go with
Is it whale
Jim
season
Jones.
again? Jim Jones, the father of Guyana and the Jonestown Massacre. Let's see. Ivo Shandor. So close. So close.
yeah.
Good
I wouldn't
effort.
have- I wouldn't have
Good
come up
effort.
with
Good
that.
effort. Miss Kaplan, you are next.
Wait, when do you have to declare your counter spell? Is it like before you answer?
If you want to, I'll say, it's after they get the answer right or wrong. And so you try to take their points away from them so they don't get points. If you're trying to save somebody, by all means, feel free to use your counter spell.
Okay,
I'm going to wait till I fuck up a 300.
Nice.
so Steve is currently at 0. Bob is
Okay.
at negative 300. I'm at 200, and Misty is at 100.
Well, it's your turn.
Okay,
I still believe we have Ghostbusters 3, Christmas 2 and 3, Shakespeare 2 and 3, and Star Trek 2 and 3? No, that's right. You've gone.
Yeah.
Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes.
let's try Shakespeare for that was me shaking. Shakespeare for 200.
Sounds like a plan. For 200 points, the phrase, the beast with two backs, comes from which play? Bonus points if you know what the fuck they're talking about.
That's
We all know
that's
what
from Othello, and they're doing the funky monkey.
They are doing, in fact, the funky monkey in Othello. 200 points from Miss Kaplan. Someone studied at school, and other people drank their brain cells away. We know who is who.
I'd never heard the phrase "the funky monkey" before. I thought that was a dance from the 70s.
I thought it was an
I
ice
didn't
cream,
know
to be
that
quite
was
frank.
Ruined my childhood.
I thought it was like Ben and Jerry's flavor. Misty Massey, you are next.
I ain't trying that, sunshine. I tell you now.
Tastes like my bank account. Filthy rich. Misty Massey,
Let's
you are
clear.
next.
Let's clear out Shakespeare.
I love it. For 300 points.
Yeah.
Name for the monarchs Shakespeare's work falls into 2 time periods. What are they? Name for the British monarchs of his time. Shakespeare's works falls into 2 time periods. Can you name them?
Dang.
Okay, Elizabethan.
Oh, I'm not
is
fucking around with
one.
these questions. Not for the big ones.
Elizabethan is one,
Oh, okay.
and Tudor is the other.
Are those your final answers?
Sure.
Elizabethan and Jacobean.
Okay. Jacobean.
Briefly at the end of his life, the Jacobean slipped in and fucked it all up. Steve knows all.
That takes
don't
Miss.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're correcting me? Well, the Englishman. Peasant.
I'm going to use my counter spell because that was a
Counterspell?
lot of points to take me back.
Sounds like a plan. Now, does anybody want to counterspell her counterspell?
So wait, hold on. If she counterspells, does that just keep her where she was before this
Yes,
question?
she doesn't lose points.
Okay,
Right.
gotcha.
No, I'm going to
No.
mercifully allow that.
All right, so therefore you do not lose your 300 points.
Thank you.
Stephen, I believe Shakespeare is finished. We have Christmas 2 and 3 and Star Trek 2 and 3. Oh, I think there might be a third Ghostbusters, as a matter
Yeah,
of
there's a
fact.
third Ghostbusters. Let's go for maximum Ghostbusters.
All right, sounds like a plan to me. All right. For 300 points, what make and model was the Ecto-1? This is for true fans.
I'm not a car guy. As far as I'm concerned, the Ecto-1 is the Ecto-1.
You might just want to say
Yeah.
some gibberish and counterspell your answer to save yourself some points.
Yeah, sure. It's an embargo Caprice
Okay, sounds good. Sounds
82.
about as legitimate as my English title. Keep going.
Cadillac something, right?
No, I've
It
no
was a
idea.
1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor.
Okay.
Whoa.
There was no way I was getting that. Counterspell.
Not even a counterspell.
Kablam.
All right. Does anybody wish
If
to
in
take that and
you
make
say
him
so.
take the minus 300 points?
No, I need my counter-spell for when I fuck up again.
Yeah, none of
like
you
a
guys
plan.
know cars.
All right.
He's currently sitting at 0. I'm gonna leave him there.
By the way, my recording stopped a long time ago.
Thank you.
So, what would you like to do?
I'll take Christmas for 200.
Christmas for 200? No, we did that one already.
Free
All right,
Wassel,
Christmas.
Père Noël, so it's 300.
Christmas for 300.
maximum Christmas.
In Gaval, Sweden, they build a 13-meter tall what every Advent?
Cock, 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 cock. Snow cock, snow cock.
Snowman.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Misty, do you care to tell them the real answer?
It's a goat.
A goat.
All right. Counterspell.
A counterspell. All right. No one's losing points this round. All right.
Fucking hell, Sweden, grow up.
Hang on. Is that what Joe
Yes.
went viral for on TikTok? Oh,
Yes.
that's weird.
All right.
Okay,
Miss Kaplan, you are next.
what do we got? Do we have any Shakespeare left?
I believe we have a 300 Shakespeare. No, we did. Let me see. Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, we-
Othello. No,
Jacobean.
so it's just
Yeah,
two
yeah.
questions left. It's just Star Trek. You and
All
Missy both
right.
get a question from Star Trek. Them's how the cookie crumbles.
Let's do Star Trek for 200.
For 200 points, what real-life physicist had a cameo on Star Trek The Next Generation?
Oh Lord. Okay. So it's either so the three physicists that it could be would be like Stephen Hawking or
I think you would remember Stephen Hawking. He's kind of a memorable dude.
well, I don't watch this show, so how the hell would I know? Bill Nye,
You heard it
the
right there,
science-
nerds. You're allowed to get her on your own.
Bill Nye, the science guy, or Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil, yeah, that guy.
Those are the only three physicists.
Yeah, those are those are the only ones I know.
There's Leonard, there's Sheldon, there's Penny. I'm pretty sure there's some more.
Richard Feynman's dead, right? Yeah. I think I'm gonna
Also, the Star Trek The Next
go-
Generation was like 25, 30 years ago. Which one do you want to go with?
Let's go with Stephen
On the lid.
Hawking.
Is that your
Racist.
final answer?
Yeah, racist.
The answer is Stephen Hawking.
Ooh,
For
yikes.
200
Right off the
points
top.
to Miss Kaplan.
Holy shit, what episode was he in? I'm sure I would have remembered that.
They were all playing. They were playing. Data was having poker against the greatest minds. He was playing against Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking's, Sir Isaac Newton, and Data.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Day is just absolutely rinsing the humans there. Yeah, that's
No, Hawking's won. His little went and the little robot's hand put down as like royal flush or whatever.
he put that into his contract. Yeah, I'll appear
Oh,
on
without
the
a doubt,
show.
I'm not losing to some actor.
Yeah.
It
Misty,
doesn't take a great mind to win with a royal flush.
that is true. Maybe he bluffed, but he has a hell of a poker face.
That's
I'm
true.
glad this is. I'm
He's
glad
dead
this is
now. We can make fun of him. It's
audio podcast, and no one ever saw me made that fucking face. Oh, right.
fine. Yeah.
By process of elimination,
Let's
Missy
say on
Massey,
YouTube.
you have Star Trek: The Next Generation for your final question. Are you ready?
I am ready.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. Which character was named after the series creator? Which Star Trek: The Next Generation character was named after the series creator?
You just got to name the series creator, surely.
Well, there's a specific character on Star Trek: The Next Generation, very famous, and I'll give you a hint: very annoying.
Johnny Star Trek creator.
Ensign Rowe. Final
Rod
answer.
Laren. Do you think is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right. No, it's Wesley. Eugene Wesley Roddenberry was the man who created Star Trek. Wesley Crusher was named after him.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I love how the $100 and $200 questions are kind of easy, and then 300 you come in and wham.
It's almost like I even told you in the beginning of the challenges. They get progressively hot. Did anybody read the literature? All
No.
right.
Literature.
I did hear that like the cast and crew at the time did not like Gene Roddenberry, so that makes a lot of sense.
All right. What the hell am I doing? That is the wrong button. This is the button I need. All right. End of round 2. How are we feeling?
I'm still
Great.
comfortably at 0, I think.
Great. Chug.
All
I'm
right.
comfortably at
All right.
negative 300.
All right. So what are the current point tallies, Miss Emily?
We have Steve at 0.
All right.
Bob
Nice.
at negative 300, as he said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 600. And Misty is at negative 200.
Oh, wonder who's keeping score.
All right.
I have
is
not
anybody-
yet begun to cheat.
Is anybody gunning for anybody else at this particular time?
Well, I think we're all gunning for Emily now, surely.
All right.
I'm
That's
kind
what
of
I
gunning
love
for
to hear.
Gibby.
Right.
Racist.
Well, fuck you too. I made this thing a month and a half ago. No one wanted to play my game, and now you're fucked. All right, round 2.
Gone from
categories
shitting
are-
to butt fuck.
Back to the future, sir.
Oh.
Oh.
80s movie quotes, women in STEM, and 80s video games. Now,
One of these things is not like the other, Gibby.
I didn't want it to be all nerd stuff. I wanted to actually show a little bit of breadth of humanitarian. And also, I don't know who this Gibby is. My name is Wank Spankerman. I've told you many times because it's get it right. Lord Wank Spankerman.
Well, with all due respect, Wankspec, fuck that. I know which categories I'm picking.
All right. Well, we're reversing the order. So now, Misty, it is your turn.
80s movies quotes for 200.
Sounds like a plan. Wait, that's wrong question. Hang on. 80s movies quotes. There we are. For 200 points. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley. Name that movie.
Airplane.
The answer is Airplane. 200 points
Doo-doo.
for Miss Melanie.
Back to 0.
All right.
Back to 0. And
Emily,
do
it is your turn.
people's counter spells reset?
All the counter spells are restocked. Yes,
Oh.
ma'am.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Let's try Back to the Future for 200.
Sounds like a great one. Also, I think I accidentally clicked on it already. For 200 points, who was the mayor of Hill Valley in 1985?
Hill Valley.
Basically, the opening of the movie when Marty McFly was in 1985.
Shit, I can picture the guy. I cannot remember
Yeah.
his name.
That's
Yeah.
because you're racist.
Hint.
Not just because I'm racist.
Oh, man. I do not remember. Hold on a second. Huge black hole in my head. I don't know.
Racist.
Exactly.
Rudy Giuliani.
Goldie Wilson, Mayor
Goldie
cool.
Wilson. of course.
Mayor Goldie Wilson, who was in fact a black man. You are now in trouble with many outcry groups on Twitter, formerly known as X or vice versa. All right.
I'm gonna do counterspell real quick.
What, to undo the racism? I'm afraid you can't do that.
So you're going to counterspell that so you do not lose your 200 points, correct?
Correct.
All right. Would anybody like to counter her counterspell to make her actually lose 200 points? All right. Bob.
Keeping it from mine.
Oh, is it my turn?
Bobby Bevan.
I'm gonna-
Yes.
I'm going to take my chances with 80s movie quotes for 400.
All right. Greed, for the lack of a better word, is good. Name that movie.
Ooh,
Greed,
easy
for
one.
lack of a better word. God damn it, I don't know.
I can even name the character who said it.
I can name the actor who said it.
I don't know. Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, so close. Wall Street. The answer was Wall
all right.
Street. Michael Douglas, Gordon Gekko.
Yeah.
Very famous.
Didn't see it.
All right, that's
I've wanted
minus
to,
400
though.
points.
Are you
Minus
gonna
400 points for Bevan.
counterspell or anything?
Nah, I'll save my counterspell for an 800.
All right.
Right.
Steven, you're last. You may go next.
Sure, women in STEM for 800, please, Gibby.
Sounds like a plan.
Go
Who was,
for it.
for 800 points, who was the first woman in space?
Fucking don't know.
I do.
No idea.
Harriet Tubman.
Yes. After her bus fiasco, she flew to space.
Harriet Tubman.
She was at the back of the rocket.
Just panic. Name a woman.
That's the wrong
If anyone-
person.
I know.
Gibby.
That's the Underground Railroad. I know. I'm intentionally moving.
All right.
Fuck you.
Well, this will be an educational experience for me. I don't know. I don't know a lot about space or who's been there. Was it some poor Russian that they left to drift
was
off
some
into the
poor Russian.
cosmos?
The answer is
Did they
Valentina
actually
Tereshkova.
land her, or did they just let her drift off?
No, that's not
Like,
the
did
dog. They brought the woman back, but
Oh,
yes,
no.
Valentina.
Oh, the
Tereshkova.
Russians.
They
The
probably
Russians
didn't record
failed
the
to bring
names
a
of the
guy
people.
back. So
Yeah.
Ooh, that was
Oh
a
well,
big.
they made the extra effort for the woman. That's good. That's
That
nice.
was
It's very chivalrous of them.
Do you wish to counterspell the 800, or you just want to be that far into the hole?
Yeah, no, I've got to counterspell that. There's no way I was
Alright.
getting that, Gibby. I was just trying to be progressive.
You know, that's very good of you. Misty, do you wish to also be progressive and say, fuck it, let's do something fun?
sure, 80s movie quotes for 800.
Oh, jumped right to it. All right. For 800 points, on the other side of the screen, it all looks so easy.
Oh, I can nearly get this one, I think.
This is a tough one. It takes deductive thinking about it. 80s movie and a screen.
Unless you just know it.
Oh, that is true too.
Yeah, it's always the best way, really, is just to know the answer. That's
That would help. Videodrome?
Is that your final answer?
It's not Videodrome, but that's a great movie.
I know,
Does
right?
anyone else happen to know the answer off the top of their heads?
I was going to
Sorry,
guess Who
Peter.
Framed Roger Rabbit. It's probably I don't remember that quote though. Tron. Okay.
Tron.
Tron.
Oh.
No, I was wrong. I thought it
Never
was
seen that.
Postcards from the Edge.
Jeff Bridges, once he was playing the games and getting his ass kicked.
I haven't seen that
All right,
since
you're
the
gonna
80s.
counterspell
I'm
that 800 or just-
Yes, I'm counterspelling.
All right. Back. All right. So that should be done with movies trivias. We still have 400 and 800 Back to the Future, Women in STEM for 2 and 4, and 80s video games. All right, that would make ... Emily, you are next.
I'll try women in STEM for 200.
Sounds good. For 200 points, who was the first woman to be the U.S. Surgeon General?
Jesus, this is the easy one.
Was it Janet Reno?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
Jocelyn Elders. Jocelyn Elders.
That's
Who
fine.
didn't know that?
That's fine. Whatevs.
All right. Mr. Bevan.
Well, I'm not picking women in STEM if that was the easy one.
All right.
I'm going to try 80s video games 800.
800.
Counterspell.
Nice. Just getting out there up front.
For 800 points, what adult-oriented game
Yes, I know
began
this
with
one.
began with In the Land of the Lounge Lizards?
Oh,
Leisure Suit Larry.
Yeah.
There we go.
800 points to Robert J.
That
Bevan.
was 800 points.
That was
You know how many
my
people don't-
first correct answer.
Yeah,
Any
people don't-
child who was around there and just was interested in tits and video games, e.g., every single child knows the answer to that
I did.
question.
Now,
That was not an
trivia-
800 pointer.
No, when you think about it, the first female U.S. Surgeon General compared to this,
It's an
For
easy
the
layup.
record, Mr. Gibson, who is my lackey, pulled these off of an actual trivia site that ranked them by easy, medium, and hard, and placed them accordingly. This is not my subjectivity. Blame the internet. All right. Stephen.
I'm going to go for, if that was the 800, I'm going to go for the easier option on 80s video games.
Which one? The 200 or 4?
Let's go for the 400.
Sounds good. Name the classic animator responsible for Dragon's Lair.
Shit, I know this. Don Bluth.
Say that again. I'm sorry. Your English is terrible. You're slurring words and letters that should not be slurred together. Say it again.
Yeah, as an Englishman does. Don Bluth.
There's no F in Don Bluth. That is accurate. 400 points to Stephen J. Weatherall.
counterspell.
Oh, fuck you.
Do you still have one?
He does.
I didn't
Okay.
use it. I was going to use it for the 800 point question, but I got
But
it
he
right.
got it. So sorry. Now, does anybody want to counterspell that counterspell? So Steve actually gets points.
Do I have a counterspell?
You still do, Steve.
No.
Yeah, I'd like to use my counterspell, please.
No, didn't you do? No, you use yours for women in
Oh,
STEM
right,
for
yeah.
800.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, my bad.
That's what I get for trying to name a woman.
There's only mother and ex-wife. That is it. All right. So no one's going to try to save Mr. Steve here.
I don't
Well-
think any of us have it left.
All
I
right,
still get
sorry.
the style points for that. That was the first layup, I think, in this game. So
Oh, that was very well done. Well,
Yeah.
I would say that was Bevan getting Legion Suit, Larry. You get the alley-oop. All right. Misty Massey.
What's left?
I don't know. Back to the Future. I think 4 and 8. Women in STEM 400, I believe.
Yeah.
Women in STEM 400.
And videos games for 200. Okay, women
No.
in STEM for 400. What astronomer, mathematician, and philosopher was killed in 415 CE?
that's what they got for being a nerd.
When I was in high school, I was seriously into Cosmos in a major way, had the biggest crush on Carl Sagan, and I'm pretty sure that the answer to this is Hypatia.
What the heck?
Hi, Patia, indeed.
What the
I know this because I saw her played by the girl that played Phoebe on The Good Place. Yes.
I thought that was some kind of blood pressure thing, but okay.
Now, there was part of an episode of Cosmos was all about Hypatia and what her accomplishments.
Yeah,
So
she broke out, did amazing things in all these fields, and was killed for it.
they
women
they
learning.
slashed her with oyster shells.
It was not pretty.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was nasty.
It's creatively bad back then.
Emily Kaplan, I believe we have 200 in video games. Back to the Future 4 and 8.
Let's try 200 for in video games.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a very bad plan.
For what game found you as a knight? Oh,
I know this one.
Awesome.
I know this one too.
Oh, yes.
It's like the second answer I've known.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is Ready Player One.
All right, Steve or Bevan or even Misty. 3, 2, 1.
Joust.
Joust.
Oh, right.
Wow, the wrong person got this question.
Yes.
My husband used to play it, and I used to
I used to
watch
play
like
it.
a good girlfriend.
All right. Mr. Bevan, would you like Back to the Future 8 or 4?
4.
That's all that's left. All right.
2 was quite hard.
In Back to the Future 3, what are the name of Doc and Clara's children?
This one's easy. This one's
Einstein.
easier than the question before it. No, Bevan, no. Think about the author they liked.
No, don't help the man.
I'm helping you. It's frustrating to me. He doesn't know this.
All right.
I'm glad that you-
I'll take Steve's hint, and their names were Jules and Vern.
Jules and Vern are the correct answer.
Thanks, Steve.
Woo.
I fucked you
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, that's what friends do, Bevan. They don't just counter spell their layup just out of spite, even though Emily's clearly beating the hell out of all of them.
I didn't want to be last.
Well, now
And
you're
that
not.
brings Steve, the final one, for Back to the Future for 800 points.
You were last in my heart. How does that feel?
At the end of the Back to the Future run, what was the name of George McFly's book? He was a sci-fi author, and he wrote a book. We're all authors.
This one's an easy one, Wanky. The name of the book was I Travel Back in Time to Fuck My Mum.
A Match Made in Space. So close. So
Oh,
very close.
no, I talk about the European version.
After Brexit, we changed it back to the Imperial Standard. You understand. You understand. All right. Preparing for the final round. Let's see how the scores stand. Miss Kaplan, how do the scores stand?
Okay. Thanks to that last answer, Steve is at negative 800.
All right.
Nice.
Bob, in a surprising twist of events, is at 500.
Oh shit!
I'm at 200, and Misty is at 400. If anybody else
Am I winning?
Yes. If anybody else is keeping score, please correct me.
No,
I think I only got one question right.
You got
No,
a important
two,
one
all right.
right.
But it was
Because
a big one.
Steve helped me. Thanks, Steve.
All right.
Definitely saving my fuck you over spell for
All
the
right.
next round.
So, for those who are now, unfortunately, all the counter spells are now over. No more
Shit.
counter spells left in the game. Now, for those at negative points,
Can I just flip him off? Is there anything I can do?
for those who have negative points, I will allow you to go. What were the scores again? Who's in negative points right now?
I'm
Steve,
super negative.
negative 800.
Okay, and who's the next lowest tally behind? But like Bob's at 500, negative 800. Misty is at what?
Misty's at 400. I'm at 200.
All right. To put you on par with Miss Kaplan at 200 points, give me one thing you will do for the Authors and Dragons audience on Discord that is a positive thing that will help them out. What you have to basically buy your points by doing something nice for the audience. What are you going to do? But you must be done in 2 weeks' time.
Through me?
Yes, you. Otherwise, you're out of the game. You're at negative points. You can't get positive.
I have to do something for the people on Discord. I always do things for people in the Discord.
Just
I
do
go in the
something.
Discord. I don't know.
then
I'm just
you're
trying to
really-
think.
I think you
not
should
missing
dress
out
up
on
and do a belly dance.
I was thinking more of like a couple days of knock knock jokes. It's just something small. We just have to get. I need a sign of good faith from you to give you at least
All
put
right.
you on par with Miss Kaplan.
I will think of 3 original jokes and share them exclusively in the Discord.
Works for me. Emily, he is now at 200 points.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Now, out of your points, you may bet up to double your amount for this final round. So who would like? We'll start. Who the leader is? Bob. Bob, out of your 500 points, how much would you like to bet? You can bet
500.
up to all 500.
No, wait.
or
I
would you
can
like to double?
1,000.
You want to bet 1,000 points? Fantastic.
Let it ride.
All right. Misty Massey is next points. I believe you said she was at 500. No,
400.
How out of your 400? How much would you like to bet?
I'll double as well, 800.
All right, that's your bet. Steve, out of your 200 points, how much would you like to bet?
400.
All right. And Emily, you're going to play it smart and go $1? Or
Yeah, I was going to say I'm betting 0. Is that possible? No, I'll
100%. You can just
Okay,
bet
yeah.
0.
I'll bet 0.
All right.
Boo, Emily.
Now, this is where it gets weird. These are the final categories. 1 per person. Bevan, you are in the lead. Pick a category for Emily to answer.
Oh, hell. Jeez.
All right. I'm going to go with classic horror movies just so Steve doesn't get it.
All right, so Emily, it's classic horror movies. Next in line was Misty. Misty, since they're tied, pick. Actually, Steve or Bevan, pick one for them. Give them a category.
Well, I already
Okay.
picked somebody, so
Yeah, you went first because you had the most amount of points. That's what you get for winning the points. Misty, you're next in line.
World War I for Bevan.
Bevan gets World War One. All right.
I'm not
all right.
confident of any of these categories, so that'll do.
Emily, pick one for Steve, and you get what's left over.
For Steve, Lord of the Rings.
All right.
Ah, damn it.
And that
I never
leaves you
remember
with
their
the
names.
X-Men.
Well, what do I have?
Misty gets X-Men.
Misty gets X-Men, yes. Misty gets X-Men. All right, so Bevan, you got, which one did you get?
Bevan
World War
got
One.
World War One.
For your 1,000 points. Are you ready for your question?
It should be
Let's do it.
interesting.
During World War One, British tanks were sorted into male and female types. What's the difference between a male and a female tank?
Sexist joke. Sexist joke. Sexist
Your
joke.
mom.
I'm going to go with it has to do with the giant dick-like gun on the front.
I need a little bit more answer.
Female
Women have
tank
smaller
did
dicks,
not have
Gibby.
a dick.
So, okay, what did they have instead of a dick?
Tits.
I don't know.
As long
they
as you're mostly
were,
right, I'll coax it out of you.
Oh, shit. Am I on the right track?
You are very much
All
on the
right.
right track.
Oh, all right, cool. I don't know. They were more for transport.
Is that your final answer?
No, not with that face.
I'm sorry, it's the only one I have. It's with a name like Wank Spankerman, you only get one face.
They had smaller guns and vaginas.
I'm going to show the answer, and I would like this group to do consensus to see how close Bob actually was. Are you ready? I know this is a competition. This is why I really need Miss the Bean to be back. Flick a bean, but she's not here. All right. Male guns had cannons. Females had machine guns. That's basically what he said in a roundabout way.
He
It's
said
a smaller gun.
Smaller
Yeah.
guns. Yeah, I'll give that.
All right. Well, I think Bob just won the game with 1,000 points, so we got to find out who wins everything else.
And I pulled that out of my ass.
All right, so next in line, it's Misty Massey. She had the X-Men. Are you ready?
I am ready, and I'm playing for the lifetime supply of rice-a-roni.
Oh, yes. Gift card and the Double Dare package. Yes. During the Marvel 1602 storyline, mutants were known by what term?
Ooh, that's a good storyline.
It's a
Wish
great
I'd got this
storyline.
category.
Made famous by Neil Gaiman himself.
Is it the
The
N-word?
changeables.
No, they were not. It was not the N-word, Bevan. That is not. Okay.
It was 1602. It could have been.
Is it? Do you have a final answer, Ms.
It was a different
Yes,
time.
yes, the Jacobeans.
Witch breed. They were known as the witch
Oh.
breed.
I read that as witch bread. Now
Also
I want
true.
French
witch bread.
toast. French
All right.
toast.
So Misty Massey lost 800 points. All right. Next up would be classic horror movies for, I believe, Miss Kaplan.
Yes.
All right. In 1931 horror movie. Oh, pardon me. What 1931 horror movie was the first to win an Oscar for Best Actor?
Actor must have been Bela Lugosi, maybe? Or no, Boris Karloff.
Well, what was the horror movie?
I'm going to go with Frankenstein.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Mr. Frederick March in 1931.
Wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, I thought it was Dracula. So
I
And
didn't
it,
lose
but-
anything.
you lost nothing. So, Lord of the Rings for
Except the game.
for the true Lord of the Rings nerds, Aragorn's ring had two serpents intertwined. What was this ring called?
Jesus Christ, I am not a Lord of the Rings nerd. I can never remember any of the shit that's called anything. But that being said, Aragorn's ring that had two serpents entwined was definitely called Snake Fucker.
Snake fucker. The ring of Barahir. The ring
Yeah,
of
but
Barahir.
if you translate that into modern English, it means
into
snake fucker.
modern English, yes. It means those who fuck with
Jesus
snakes.
Christ.
I'll give it to him.
That is not what it means. And the winner is Robert Bevan, ladies and gentlemen.
That is
well done.
the most
well done.
undeserved victory ever.
I
Oh,
was impressed.
thank you.
Well done.
All right, do you have any questions from our fans? No, that's it. That is the end of the inaugural Gibivia. Thank you all for being here, but now we can just hang out and bullshit for a minute if you like.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was exciting.
Thanks,
and
Gibby.
frustrating.
Oh,
That
you're
was
welcome.
amazing. Nobody's
That
in the
was-
history of A&D has ever prepped that much for anything.
No.
Oh, right?
I said the worst part is I had to get my at the time he had it because I did this just like the very end of November, right before December, like after we had done like one of the pre-Christmas things, and my son was trying to teach me Google Slides so I could put all this together, so I could hit the button to go back to where I started from, and I spent like a couple hours with him, my 11, turning 12-year-old to teach me this shit. So
It was good. I think the only question I feel bad about is a Tasha Yar one. I think on any other day I would have got that one. That was a really fun
not knowing who was going to be here, I had to kind of cover the gamut of like a variety of nerd topics. So yeah, if I had known ahead of time, I might have written some that like, definitely this is for so-and-so, this is for so-and-so, and then maybe they bounce around. But going out of order or going in that particular order means someone's going to get screwed, and screwing your neighbor is half the fun of the game. So
We will
My
definitely
neighbor's
have to
really
do
old.
this again.
I'll gladly run another one. So
Again, the warm trivia glow. I knew enough answers to other people's questions that I still feel good about myself.
I didn't.
well,
Yeah,
you
I'm
knew the
with
right
Bob.
ones. That's the thing. It's like
In the
and
wrong
you kind
order.
of just Mr. Magoo's your way into the answer to the final. Like, holy shit, he's actually kind of right. Like, all right, let's put it to the vote. Like I'm just being generous, but if the rest of the group says you got it, you got it. So
I was just glad I didn't get forced into any Back to the Future questions because I am not a fan. So I was like, no,
I am
not
a
that,
fan,
not
but-
that.
I don't think I knew any of the answers except for the ones Steve gave me.
well, you probably would have got Goldie Wilson, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't have got Goldie Wilson. That did not occur to me at all. If I'd thought about it, I would have got a match made in space. That's that was a pretty obvious one.
That's a hard one because they only flash it for a second at the end. It was like your book.
Yeah, I know, but it's such a stupid title that it kind of stays with you. But when we were talking about Goldie Wilson, I wanted to say Candy something for some reason, and it just threw me off entirely. But A Match Made in Space, I just thought it was funny to say I went back in time and fucked my own mum. Which is what the film should have been called, really.
Oh, 100%. You know,
The one thing this game has brought home is that I don't remember shit from anything from the 80s.
that's not necessarily true. You pulled a few things out of your I believe that was from Othello, and the doctor my God, you know, you knew some questions, you knew some
You
answers.
got most of your questions correct.
Yeah.
So,
No, I did not.
After the first
And
round,
see-
no, you did. Like we have the video footage. You were winning.
And see, in the 80s, I was watching things like The Terminator and Heavy Metal and Videodrome and The Wall. So
there you go.
yeah.
I was impressed with your Videodrome answer.
Yes.
I feel like that's just kind of I feel like it's a cop out name drop to I fucked up Tron. So like, no, I'm just messing.
No.
No, it was. It's like, I don't know the answer to this question, but I do know a cool movie. So
Yep.
I totally forgot that the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was Gozer. I was going to guess a lesbian.
Yeah, choose the form of the destructor. Nobody think anything. If you think Jacob River pops in your head, that's a whole bit.
Yep.
I did. I really overthought that one. I thought that's too easy. Maybe he's talking about.
And the funny thing is,
the
I
flat
put
top
that in
lady.
after we had that whole we watched the Ghost, like you, me, and Bevan watched the Ghostbusters trailer, the new one, and like talk shit about it, and like all of our prior Ghostbusters knowledge. I'm like, oh, they're definitely gonna get all these answers. Holy shit!
I was impressed by Steve's, what was it, Don Bluth?
That was Oh, Don Bluth gave us the secret of Nim. One of his last
He was
ones
an
was that.
incredibly charismatic animator. He just had a great
my-
style.
Oh,
When-
100%.
The first year I was married, my husband and a friend of his went down to the local arcade and bought an old Dragon's Lair machine. The game had been taken out, but he bought the case,
The cabinet,
and
yeah.
and brought it home and played our Commodore 64 video games through
Nice.
the screen on that. So we had a
Cool.
Dragon's Lair machine in the house.
I used to be fascinated by. I think he did Dragon's Lair 2, and Space Ace.
Yeah,
And he
Space
pretty much did them all off his own back. It was
Yeah.
just a series of animated vignettes on Laserdisc,
That's exactly
and,
what it was.
and it worked incredibly well. And it worked incredibly well because God just had style.
Wasn't he the same guy that did like all the animation of like faces swallowing themselves and shit? Or is that somebody else?
That sounds like you just had a bad day, mate. I don't
Okay, I'm thinking of somebody else, I guess.
Are you talking about like the old anti-smoking ads you used to get
No, I
on
don't know.
MTV? Like the MTV kind of.
Now I'm going to Google Don Bluth face swelling. I need to know.
I don't want to Google that. My
do.
Google history's already fucked up. Yeah, I was disappointed with the Tasha Yar thing. I think I could have got a match made in space had I thought about it. But other than that, no, I thought that was a decent level of trivia.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed that I didn't win my rice-a-roni.
Yeah, all the rest will be sent to you in a gift card. You got 0 points, so don't look for it in the mail.
Okay.
An empty gift card.
Now, don't forget, Steve, you do owe 3 original jokes.
I do. 3 original jokes.
So Bevan won. Who was the next? Was it Emily, who did not bet anything?
I think so.
I'm a little bit confused about if you bet, if that was taking into consideration like adding to your existing score, or just like that's what you know.
You're betting all those points. So if you made it, he came out with 1,000. So he bet 1,000 of his points.
That's what
So
you got. Yeah. Okay. So then the next would have been me,
yep.
and then Steve, and then actually Misty came in fourth.
Yeah.
I thought Steve bet all his points as well.
Last.
Yeah, I bet
Woo!
1 point. And lost. So
Yeah. So Misty and Steve have both been tied at 0.
tied in 0. That's fine.
Hero.
Yeah, I owe 3 jokes to the Discord. I've only ever made up 2 original jokes, so that's actually a lot harder than it seems.
Writing checks that now your mind has to cash these things. Well done. Well done.
Luckily, nobody on the Discord takes me seriously anyway, so it
Also
should be
true.
fine.
Also true. All right. Does anybody else have anything wanted to add? We've hit 52 minutes. I think that's more than enough for a particular side quest
That's
episode.
fine. This was very enjoyable. Well done, Gibby's alter ego. Wanky McFisterson or whatever it was called.
Fist your mom. Wank fist your mom, yes.
So, in the rematch, Bob will have to defend his title, I guess.
If we do a second one, Bob's got to come back as the reigning champion.
Oh yeah.
You could be the exact same contestants for all I'm sure, but he is now the reigning champion of Gibivia. So.
That's reasonable.
Nice.
The smartest person on Authors and Dragons.
Sure, that is unequivocally untested.
If we never have another one, they can't take that from you. You are the smartest person.
That's just canon.
If I don't show up for the next one,
You gotta do like Ric Flair wrestling things, get yourself disqualified on purpose. You can't lose the title officially because no one actually beat you. So that's actually pretty brilliant. So
Bob just dies. He just gives up. He knows he's never going to get better than this. Just dies to spite us all.
like, my brain is so big it pushed all my hair out.
yeah,
Just has it written on his tombstone. The smartest guy on the A&D
it's like the first time you have a threesome. Like, you can't have sex again. It doesn't get better than this unless there's more. So.
I don't know. I can be equally disappointing to two women at the same time, I think. So.
Oh, sure, but you get disappointed that I say the same thing. Like, no, I don't want two pissed off people in the bed. Are you crazy?
My self-esteem's low enough as it is. Thank you.
That's why you use hookers. And everybody walks away happy.
With all your prize money. That's right. How wise spend indeed. All right. If that is everything, then thank you all again for coming out for another edition of Side Quest. We'll be back next time with something. I don't know what it is. Until then, for Emily, Misty, Steve, and Bevan, y'all have a great night. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, friends.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons!